Hey yo, what is up, Godzilla and Kaiju fans and everybody? It is me, Godzilla, in my evolved form again, and welcome, Godzilla and Kaiju fans and everybody, to SpaceX Starship 13th Orbital Test Flight live event video on Godzilla King underscore 1954 to 23. So, yeah, Godzilla and Kaiju fans and everybody, this is our full live event video of SpaceX Starship 13th Orbital Test Flight on Godzilla King underscore 1954 to 23. And this is going to be an extremely exciting video. So, yeah, Godzilla and Kaiju fans and everybody, this is featuring Starship spacecraft number 40 and Super Heavy Booster number 20 on Starship's 13th test flight and the second test flight of Starship version 3. So, yeah, Godzilla and Kaiju fans and everybody, this is going to be an absolutely awesome YouTube video here for us here today. And yeah, this Starship Flight 13 was launched on July 24th, 2026, and yeah, we are making this video on August 14th, 2026. So yeah, Godzilla and Kaiju fans and everybody, this is gonna be an absolutely awesome YouTube video. So please like the videos and subscribe to Godzilla King underscore 1954 to 23 to become a member of Team Godzilla and to get our YouTube channel to 100 subscribers on YouTube. And for more extremely awesome Godzilla King underscore 1954 to 23 YouTube videos on our YouTube channel. So yeah, please like the videos and subscribe to Godzilla King underscore 1954 to 23 for more incredible videos like this and to get our YouTube channel to 100 subscribers on YouTube. Alright, now let's get into the video now, everybody. Enjoy the video. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and sit down in my spot, and we're going to get into Starship Flight 13 now. Alright, welcome to SpaceX Starship 13th Orbital Test Flight, the 13th test flight of Starship, and the second test flight of Starship version 3. Alright. This is the Starship program. Alright, here we go. 13th Orbital Test Flight of SpaceX Starship and second test flight of Starship's version 3 generation. Alright, this is footage from Starship Flight 12, the first Starship test flight, and a whole bunch of other Starship test flights combined. Alright, booster catch. Yeah. Alright, here we go. Welcome to SpaceX Starship 13th Orbital Test Flight, everybody.
Hello and welcome to Starbase, Texas. It's 5:19 p.m. Texas time, and we are just over 31 and a half minutes away from Starship Flight 13, the second test flight of our next generation Starship version 3.
Alright, this was all on July 24th, 2026, and this is attempt 2 of Starship Flight 13, because Starship Flight 13 attempt 1 was aborted. There were four Raptor V3 engines that did not ignite on booster 20, but now they addressed the issue, and now we're back at it here. So here we are, attempt 2 of Starship Flight 13.
In just a moment, but all I have to say is that we're here today and we're ready for our second launch attempt. I'm Kate Tice, Senior Manager of Quality Systems Engineering.
And I'm Nathan Commissary, a civil engineer here at SpaceX. Today we're coming to you live once again from just outside the Star Factory production floor, about 1.5 miles from the rocket on the pad.
Yeah. So here we are at Orbital Launch Site 2 at the Starbase launch site for Starship Flight 13 with Starship 40 and Super Heavy Booster 20. The Starship spacecraft and Super Heavy Booster for Starship Flight 13 here. The second version 3 Starship stacked to fly. So yeah, this is the version 3 the version 3 generation of the world's most powerful and largest rocket ever built and flown, flying for the second time. So yeah.
And this is an exciting day for the Starlink team as well, as we're planning to deploy 20 of the newest generation Starlink satellites.
Yes, we're going to be deploying the first ever Starlink version 3 satellites into space for the first time. So yeah, we're deploying 20 of them. They're going to be testing out the solar panel arrays and the thrusters, and they're going to be testing out their laser link connections to the Starlink satellite constellation in low Earth orbit. So this is going to be a historic Starship test flight for sure.
And deliver a noticeably better experience for our
So
customers.
here we go.
And as we've said before,
Starship 40 and Booster 20 are going to make history.
What we're doing today is a test. We test in flight because it's the best way to rapidly iterate the design, and it's the best way to put the vehicle through its paces in the actual conditions it will experience during an operational mission.
So if you haven't checked out our previous Starship videos, you go ahead and check them out, and then
most important
yeah.
payload today is data, but no matter the outcome,
All right.
today's test flight excitement is once again guaranteed.
Now let's head a couple of floors upstairs where Dan Hewitt is just outside the Launch Control Center. How's it going, Dan?
Hey Nate, it is going great. Hi to you and Kate. Hello everybody else. I'm Dan Hewitt with SpaceX Communications. Happy to be here with you for another launch day. As Kate noted, our first attempt to launch this flight test last Thursday ended early in a pad of war. Let's dig into that a little bit.
Alright, so this was previously recorded. This was attempt 1. So the deluge activates and 4 engines ignited. 4 engines did not ignite for the ignition sequence on Booster 20.
For those of you that like to pay real close attention to the on-screen
This engine
telemetry,
layout.
you saw this at T0 during that first attempt. We command the engines to start up simultaneously. You get some slight differences as the engine adapts in real time. But you saw 4 not light up. So 4 out of 33, what exactly happened? We have a launch constraint built in where we can only be down 2 Raptor engines at liftoff. So the vehicle detected more than that, we're out. Automatically aborted before the final T0, safely shut down all of the engines that started up. We dug through the data, and what we saw was some off-nominal spin response in the aux turbo pumps on 6 of the engines. So the most likely root cause was determined. We were collecting some moisture inside of the pumps from previous operations, which then froze when we introduced that cryogenic propellant, and that either slowed those pumps down or stopped them completely from spinning. So for this next flight attempt, we swapped in 6 engines that were already at Starbase, and we did a test back on Wednesday that allowed us to check out the newly installed engines and spin the aux pumps on all 33 after they were chilled, check out their performance before we got into another launch attempt. We pulled a bunch of those engines off, as we said. We tested one on a test stand up at McGregor, helped screen for any other issues that might be hiding, and that one was actually able to do a full booster ascent burn. So got us in a good position for today. Even though we didn't get off the pad last week, we learned about the engines, the prop systems, how they perform in the flight environment. Already going to drive some changes to make Starship more reliable. We also got a real-world test of an abort that's designed to take place at one of the most critical dynamic phases of flight. We safely shut down 29 running Raptor engines, safeguarded the vehicle and the pad. Amount of work goes into designing aborts. You've got software, hardware engineers just dreaming up bad day scenarios, how we want the vehicle to respond, just to give us the best possible path to maximize safety, preserve the mission and the hardware, so we're able to do that. All right, that was then. This is now Flight 13's second attempt. So things are looking really good at the moment. Just behind me here is the launch.
So yeah, we're wanting all 33 Raptor V3 engines to ignite for Booster 20's ascent burn. So yeah, we want that to happen at liftoff. So yeah, here we are in propellant loading. Our propellant is liquid methane, the fuel, and liquid oxygen, the oxidizer. So yeah, we got propellant loading underway.
We were originally attempting to fly yesterday,
and let's get ready to see all 33 Raptor 3 engines ignite on Booster 20 for liftoff in the ascent phase of Starship Flight 13, because we want that. We don't want any engine anomalies this time.
You can't do that when you have clouds completely obscuring your view through all of those critical phases of
look at those frost lines coming up.
Capable and legally allowed.
This is like it's over 400 gallons per second right there.
Testing,
400 gallons of
analysis,
propellant per
studying
second.
aircraft capabilities, and its design, because that's ultimately the cadence we
So,
want to fly at, like an
all right.
airplane. We're going to utilize
Getting
that
ready
new
for Starship
capability
Flight
carefully,
13 in
but
24 minutes and
we wanna
54
fly Starship
seconds.
as often as you could fly an
I was just about to say
airplane. You're
24
gonna have to
hours.
fly
That would have
weather
been
that
completely
historically
wrong.
would keep rockets on the ground. So we're doing that analysis, we're doing that testing to prepare for the future. Aside from weather, we're watching the range, both in the Gulf, right here off Starbase, and the Indian Ocean. That's currently green. We're not tracking any vehicle or pad issues that will preclude a launch today.
All right.
Speaking of the pad, that launch infrastructure, it's every bit as complicated.
So this is going to be the
as
second
rocket
launch
itself.
from
It's designed to operate in
Orbital
some of
Launch
the
Site
most
2
extreme
with the
conditions
new
on Earth.
redesigned Orbital Launch Mount, the redesigned Mechazola arms, and the bidirectional flame diverter with the double water deluge system. Alright, so here's footage from the Starship's from the previous Starship documentary, Critical Path.
When we're only a week out from flight, my main focus is getting into flight. The thing that separates us from a lot of other companies is that we test fast and we test often, and that includes launches. We want to make sure the vehicle's all ready to go, we want to make sure the ground's all ready to go, but we also don't want to be caught in analysis paralysis.
Just make sure this is before Starship Flight 12. Booster 19, 10 engine stack fire.
On LVM1, looks like we kicked out due to combustion from the apex being faulted.
There was a pad side abort called. These things were holding like 5,000-6,000 tons of propellant plus the rocket weight. And it's like, okay, well, why didn't you guys simulate that? It's like, well, because we didn't have anything that weighed that much. Like, this is the first time we put anything on it that weighed that much. So there's just so much that you have to think about and then be very paranoid on.
And Booster 19 at 33, engine stack fire. That was cut short as well.
All teams triage alerts, prepare for us.
They were able to successfully ignite all engines.
Basically, right during engine firing, it was so much noise and vibration that it actually shook the sensors that are located out in this area enough that they aborted us out of the test.
Yeah.
We went back, obviously, afterwards and looked at all the data and tried to come up with smarter ways to basically still protect the integrity of the diverter throughout the operation while changing our parameters so that we were making sure that we would not abort again.
A flame diverter is like a super simple concept that is like not at all complicated in operation and is just absolutely murderous in the details. These are extremely sophisticated thermal load sensing devices. If they turn into melted metal slag, then you know that you got too much heat. If you melt this, you're hotter than aluminum melts. If you melt this, you're hotter than zinc melts. If you melt this, you're hotter than copper melts. If you melt this, you're hotter than Sharpie melts. So we're sub-Sharpie.
Well, yeah, if you're beyond that, you might need to install burn
All of this
plates.
energy that is just absolutely trying to obliterate our pad. We want to give it a thing
Yeah,
to
18 million pounds of
to
thrust.
keep from obliterating the things that we care about. And the thing we give it is water.
Yeah. This is Orbital Launch Mount 2's water deluge system.
The amount of energy that water can absorb is like miraculous. And so if you can get high enough pressure water in the right places and just allow it to flash boil that water, then it solves a lot of problems for you. Like the idea is that the steel never gets that hot, the structures never get that hot, because the water absorbs all that energy, turns the
So
steam,
yeah.
and everything's okay.
Pad 2, Orbital Launch Site 2's Orbital Launch Mount has a
We're sitting somewhere in the neighborhood of about
white water deluge system on the bidirectional flame diverter, which you see right here. And the top deck, the top launch deck water deluge system on the top as well, which we'll see here shortly.
You're trying to look into this thing and you see how glowing hot it is. It's just a pretty impossible environment to keep.
So yeah, I started my reaction video right about here.
Button collector's still there, so that's the reason we.
But I got 20 minutes, 40 seconds. So yeah, there's the launch deck water deluge system activating. So yeah, this is basically a double water deluge system here.
Something really tough.
Enough to-
65,000 pounds per second of propellant that is coming out of the engines.
Yeah.
And again, just like 18 million pounds of thrust, like what does that number mean? I think of like 11 Ford F-150 trucks per second. Just
Why
like
not 11
it's like imagine
Tesla
if you were
Cybertrucks per
so
second?
instead of shooting bullets,
That
you're
would be
shooting pickup
better.
trucks, and it's just
Yeah.
firing 11 pickup trucks per second.
11
Not a lot at
Cybertrucks
all.
per second, more
Do you
like,
think
yeah.
your stuff could survive that?
And yet it survived that,
It is
actually.
so satisfying to watch the slow motion flame diverter shots.
Right, and just hear all the exciting stories of how we tackle these problems out here in Starbase. Super exciting.
Yeah, and by the way, if that looks like fun to you, come join our team. We are seeking scrappy problem solvers to help us build the future. Okay, let's go meet the rocket out on the pad, Starship version 3.
Alright, Starship version 3.
It's the most powerful rocket ever developed and ever flown.
Yeah.
It's also the tallest, at just over 407 feet tall. Fully
Yep,
stacked.
407
It
feet
is
tall or
massive.
124
Standing
meters
up
tall.
looking up
That's
is
the
like
height
looking
of
up at a
Monsterverse
three-story
Godzilla
building.
Evolved.
Incredible.
From
Yes,
Godzilla
it's
X
a
Kong, the
two-
New
two-stage
Empire.
rocket. Both stages are designed to return to Earth and fly again.
That
making
might be for
that thing that you see
for
on your
Godzilla
screen
X Kong
the first
Supernova,
fully
hopefully.
reusable rocket ever. The bottom half, or the first stage, is the Super Heavy booster. That's the
So
silver.
yeah, Starship is a two-stage
It's
rocket
powered
with
by 33 of our newest
okay.
generation
So here's Booster
Super Heavy
20's
screen
33
now.
Raptor version 3 engines.
They run on liquid methane
We're
and
hoping for
oxygen, and
all
this
33
version of
engines to
Raptor
ignite
provides a
simultaneously
significant increase in thrust.
for liftoff.
With that additional
It's
thrust,
gonna
as you can
it's
see
gonna
here
produce
by the
18 million pounds of
the
thrust,
version
which
that
is
we're launching
a
today,
huge
version
improvement
3
from the
on far
previous
right,
versions
that
of
version
Starship.
gets off the
Compare
pad
that
much
to
faster
compare
than
version
our
3
previous
to
versions.
version 1 and
The
version
one
2.
on the far left is, I believe,
Yeah.
actually our flight 1
You can see a
footage.
huge
In
improvement in
comparison,
thrust
really
right
just
there.
go.
Yep.
18
And
million
now
pounds
Super
of
Heavy
thrust.
has 3 grid fins, which
Ah,
you can
yes.
think of as
Definitely
aerodynamic rudders. You
triple
see
the
them on
thrust
your
of the
screen
Saturn
now.
V
They
rocket.
help steer during landing.
So you can see Booster 20 is
50% larger than
3
the previous booster
grid
versions
fins
and
right there.
designed to
3
support rapid reuse and more
hypersonic
stable
grid fins right
atmospheric
there.
reentry.
I love that shot
There,
there.
yeah, there's 3 of them
At the top of the
instead of
booster,
4.
we've got the
And
hot stage adapter.
and
It's designed
yeah,
to
that's
protect the
that's
booster during
what the new
separation,
version
and
3
now
changed right
it's
there. They
fully
switched from
integrated
4 to
for
3 grid
reusability.
fins.
And stacked right
That's
above that is our upper
that's
stage
probably
of the
for some
rocket,
more
or stage
reliability
2,
and
it's
for
what
more
we call
performance.
ship. It's powered
And
by 6 Raptor
it also got
3 optimized
yeah,
Super Heavy
version 3 Super Heavy booster now has an
Ships
integrated
designed
hostage
to live
ring.
one day
And the
will
Starship
fly to
spacecraft
transport
is
on
a much
Earth,
more
meaning
refined,
you can travel
much more
anywhere
refined
on
and
the planet
upgraded
in an
version
hour
of
or less.
version
That's
2.
pretty great to me.
Basically,
Sounds awesome.
it's got docking
It's
ports, an
designed to
upgraded
carry massive orbital payloads,
supercharged
cargo
payload
and
dispenser,
crew to Earth, orbit,
and
the moon,
stronger
Mars,
heat
and
shield.
beyond.
And
for the first time, we are carrying
it's
3
also
Starship
having the
V3
V3
satellites to
Raptor
space.
engines
For
as
more on
well.
that, let's head out
The
to
3 steel
California,
level
where
V3
Tyler is
engines and
standing by
the
with team in
V
Hawthorne.
and the
How's
3
it going, Tyler?
vacuum
We're doing
engines.
great over here, Nate. Thank
No,
you both.
scary to
I'm
talk
Tyler
Starlink
Lang,
here.
and I'm a Starlink business analyst here at SpaceX.
Starlink playing a huge role here because we're deploying the first V3
Starlink
Starlink
satellites
satellites.
have been designed to take full advantage of Starship's payload capacity. And we're going to get our first look at those satellites today. The Starlink V3 is our next-gen
Yeah,
satellite.
this is Starlink version 3 satellite here. This is the new generation satellite that will be launching aboard Starship here. Yeah, this is the version of Starlink satellites that's designed to launch aboard Starship. Starlink satellite V3. Yeah.
With increasingly better high-speed internet. Like all Starlink satellites, the V3s are built at Starlink sites in Redmond, Washington, where
Internet
we already have
satellites.
more satellites than anyone else in the world today. Now, the V3 sats are designed to support 1 terabit per second of downlink and 160 gigabits per second of uplink capacity.
Yeah.
That's approximately a 10 times improvement.
If you want yourself some Starlink internet, go ahead, have yourself some Starlink
increase in
internet.
uplink capacity from the version 2 Starlink satellite. Serving this capacity to and from customers are the satellite's upgraded phased array antennas. The
Yeah.
upgraded phased arrays are fed by SpaceX's in-house developed chips that were designed to serve customers more efficiently in both densely and sparsely populated regions simultaneously. And each Starlink V3 satellite is also equipped with 6 high-capacity 400 gigabit space lasers.
Space
Now, these 6
lasers.
lasers will allow high-bandwidth traffic to flow
Yeah,
uninterrupted between
specifically,
any two points in the world with
laser
redundant
links.
paths across a petabit laser mesh network. And if that wasn't
Designed
enough,
to,
the V3s will carry
link to the
radio frequency back
Starlink
antennas.
satellite
And these will
constellation
take advantage of the KA,
in low
E,
Earth
V,
orbit.
and W communication bands, allowing for an 8 times improvement in supported capacity compared to the V2 sats. And that's a lot of growth in capacity.
Solar
and
array
capability.
panels right
And
there.
as such,
The
new
solar
satellite
panels,
design
solar
requires
arrays,
more
whatever you
power.
want to call them.
So the solar arrays on V3 will generate approximately twice as much power as the current arrays that we fly on the V2 satellites.
Yep.
And they're also optimized to reduce drag in the lower orbital altitudes in which these new satellites will operate. But before we operationalize these satellites,
You can
we
see
want
them
in a flight
loading
environment.
them
These
into
satellites
Starship
were loaded
here,
into Starship
with that
last
huge
week
box right
ahead of
there,
that first
into the
attempt.
payload bay.
And once deployed, the Starlink team will
So
only
yeah,
have about 20
it
minutes of
is.
flight to speed run some of these tests before the sat's demise in the atmosphere.
It's also, oh yeah, there they are. There is Starship 40's 20 Starlink version 3 satellites getting ready to be launched into space. So those are going to be on the same suborbital trajectory as Starship and are going to burn up in the atmosphere, but they are going to be testing their thrusters, solar arrays, and laser links. So yeah,
Starlink is uniquely positioned to
get ready to see all that happen here.
In fact, just last week, we rolled out the next generation Starlink kit, the V5, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
built for reliable, high-speed home internet.
Yeah, you ready to see this? This is Starlink version 5 here. Introducing Starlink version 5. Yeah, Starlink V5. Smaller and lighter. Yep, smaller and lighter. Easy to install. You can install on any part of your... and more powerful and more power efficient than version 4. So yeah, you can connect this anywhere. Built for reliable home internet. So this is Starlink version 5 there.
All right, you heard from Tyler. A lot of work going on with Starlink. We've also started development on an entirely new satellite constellation, StarMind.
Yeah,
AI
StarMind.
satellites.
AI
Sit down
satellites.
with Elon and Starlink's director of satellite engineering, Ian Dahl. We covered a whole bunch of stuff, really focused on what are the 3 limiting factors to making data centers in space reality. First one we talked about was mass to orbit. That's where Starship comes in. We're going to need megatons into low Earth orbit.
Yeah,
We're going to be
megatons.
finding its full reusability and the really big payload capacity to launch the number of satellites that we're talking about, because we plan to deploy up to
So yeah, this is the StarMind AI satellites here.
as those orbital data centers using Starship for the high volume, low cost launches. Couple of really key
They're going to
reasons
be having
why
a
we
huge
data centers
constellation
for
of
space
their own as
have
well.
Advantages over building them here on Earth, which gets into our second limiting factor, which is power generation. It's always sunny in space. Satellites can harness
Yeah.
that sun, that near
This
constant
is the
solar
Earth and
energy,
sun to scale. As you
which
can
is
see, the
really
sun
gonna be
is
the only
not
way to
small.
scale
It's
as
huge.
AI continues to grow
If you're
space
that
at
distance
sea,
from the sun,
especially
would
when you contrast it with
you
all
would
the
be
challenges
burnt
that you have
instantly.
here on Earth. Within about 2 to 3 years, we believe space-based AI compute is going to become the lowest cost option as those launch costs continue to drop and Earth-based constraints continue to grow. It's going to just transform how Earth powers AI, unlocks the future.
Yeah.
And then our third limiting
The
factor that we
future
gotta
is
go
gonna
figure
look
out
like the
is gonna
future.
be chips, and we got to do that fast, and that's what we're doing with TerraFab. That's going to be...
Alright, so this is
the
TerraFab
most
here.
epic chip
So
built
yeah,
ever,
SpaceX and
not
Tesla
just churning
are
out
going to
bits
collab
of
to
big
create
chips,
the
but also
TerraFab
building
project.
a
So
massive
here's
scale
the factories to scale. This is the Tesla Gigafactory in Austin, Texas. And then this is going to be how big the TerraFab factory is going to be. It's going to be 10 times bigger than the TerraFab. It's going to be 10 times bigger than the Tesla Gigafactory, which is absolutely crazy. They actually showed footage of they actually showed an animation of they showed like animations and pictures of what the TerraFab factory is going to look like. The TerraFab facility is going to make the future look like the future. SpaceX and Tesla collaborating for this huge project Elon is envisioning.
Like today's test. So let's dive into...
Alright, let's dive into Starship Flight 13. So here it goes. So Starship 40 and Booster 20 are going to lift off from Pad 2 at Starbase's launch site. They're going to lift off with 18 million pounds of thrust, producing from Booster 20's 33 Raptor V3 engines. They'll quickly approach supersonic speeds. And then Starship 40 and Booster 20 will go under hot stage separation. They'll separate from each other. Starship 40 will do its descent burn, Booster 20 will do its boost back burn, and then Booster 20 will descend into the Gulf of America and will do its ocean landing in the Gulf of America while doing a Mechazilla catch in there. And then Starship 40 will make it into space. It will deploy its 20th Starlink version 3 satellites He'll do its in-space Raptor entry relight demo, and then Starship 40 will go through atmospheric entry, and then we'll do an RTLS banking maneuver simulating a return to launch site, and then Starship 40 will descend into the Indian Ocean, and it will do its own Raptor engine-powered ocean landing in the Indian Ocean and simulate its own Mechazilla catch. So Booster 20 and Starship 40 are going to both simulate Mechazilla catches in the ocean. Just as a little return to launch site simulation on both vehicles here.
We are T-minus 10 minutes. We're a little bit past that now. Not tracking.
All right, we're now under T-minus 10 minutes. Tracking no issues. Propellant loading looking perfect.
Making sure we're clear out in the Gulf and in the Indian Ocean where we're going to be sending the Starship. Weather continues to be gorgeous. Again, no clouds. We scrubbed our attempt yesterday, or didn't even try yesterday because we had such poor visibility. Weren't going to be able to see those tiles on the way up. That's a key kind of experiment objective for this flight today. And so we're looking really good with weather today. In the future, we'll see what kind of adverse weather we can fly into. We are capable and allowed to launch into lightning, but we're going to utilize that new capability carefully as we eventually continue to evolve Starship to fly it at an airplane-like cadence.
Yes.
You can see the prop load there on your screen.
Starship is designed to be fully and rapidly reusable. Designed to launch like every 60 minutes / 1 hour.
That will hopefully be using for the in-space burn and a landing burn at the end of its mission. We started loading our propellant at about T-minus 35 minutes today. And we're
So Starship 40 propellant loading and looking perfect. Time to fill those header tanks at the top.
Out at about T-minus 2 minutes and 50 seconds on booster, and then 2 minutes and 10 seconds on the ship. So at the moment, we're looking good. That launch time, 5:51 p.m. Central, a couple of minutes into our window today. So we'll be back real soon. Toss it back down to Kate and Nate.
All right.
Thanks, Dan. Recently, NASA announced the astronauts for the upcoming
Oh yeah, this is
Artemis mission.
here are the astronauts for the Artemis
demonstration mission
3
in
mission.
orbit designed to
They're all
demonstrate
gonna be
critical
men.
systems needed for future lunar landings. Astronauts Andre Douglas, Luca Parmitano, Randy Bresnik, and Frank Rubio, as seen there on your screen.
So yeah, those are the 4 crew members for the Artemis 3 mission.
The penultimate mission, the final test before Artemis 4 attempts to put astronaut boots back on the moon for the first time since 1972.
Yes, I'm so excited for that.
Docking port on the nose, so we can practice rendezvous and docking with the
So this
crew.
is what Artemis 3 is
And
going to
the
look
key
like.
Test objective comes after docking, where we will be able to test out maneuverability of the vehicles together while
Starship
in space.
docking with
This
the
has
Orion
been
spacecraft.
as the revamped plan for lunar landings use Starship.
Make it a crewed Starship. Probably like one of the first crewed starships,
And one other
basically.
cool ad, NASA is putting 2 SpaceX mini lasers on Orion to connect it to our Starlink constellation with the goal of enabling 4K imagery and video from the spacecraft while in space. So that's going to be pretty awesome to see.
Awesome views for sure.
Yeah, there's lots of excitement planned for next year as we all work together to send humans back to the moon. And speaking of sending humans to space, former SpaceXer and current NASA astronaut Neil Menon is actually up on the space station right now as part of Expedition 74.
Look at that. That's from the International Space Station. That's
flyover.
that was
Hi,
crazy.
Neil. We're all
So,
back at you. It's awesome
yeah,
to see the whole picture here as there's lots of facility and infrastructure development going on.
the Artemis 3 mission,
isn't alone on
the
that.
Artemis 3 moon mission was absolutely incredible. Probably the most historic moon mission ever, as of right now.
Potentially later this year.
I might upload my video of the launch probably sometime this year. We'll see.
Back to the moon, build a moon base.
I'll probably upload my videos of the launch
Yeah, exactly. And
sometime
that future
this
is
year.
Closer and closer with tests like
Maybe. We'll see.
today's flight. And with that, we are just under 6 minutes until
All right.
launch. So
5 minutes,
that brings
54
us to
seconds
terminal
until
count.
Starship
Excitement
Flight
is
13
definitely
launches.
captioned down here as the
Oh
crowd
boy,
is
oh boy, oh
gathering
boy.
us on the lawn outside, and
I'm so
happy to
excited.
say, still not a cloud
So-
in the sky. Dan, how
So
are
let's
things
get
with the
ready
mission?
for this.
Things are still looking really good, Kate. We are still not tracking any holds on the board, no issues with the vehicle or with the pad.
No
Our
issues
range
so far.
continues to be green, both in the Gulf and out in the Indian Ocean for flight today. We'll continue monitoring that all the way down to the final minutes. We are going to be closing out our propellant loading on the booster and the ship within the next 3 minutes.
Yep.
We're gonna have about 11.5 million
Her tanks are filling
of
up.
liquid oxygen and liquid methane on both of those stages once we're all done. Then it'll be time for the pad to essentially ready itself, where we clear out all of the prop that's been flowing.
All right, 5
through the
minutes
feed lines
until
up into
Starship
the
Flight
launch pod,
13.
up into the tower, those go back into the propellant farm, get it ready, and we'll do
So,
the final thrust vector control, those steering
We're gonna be
checks
getting ready to
as we get a
do
little bit
the
closer.
final gimbal
If
testing
we need
here
to
on
hold
Booster 20's
that
engines.
full time, it's new for this launch, and we saw it briefly on our.
So we're gonna be simulating a Mechazilla catch on Booster 20. When it lands in the ocean, we're gonna test the water deluge system.
Just kind of hang out for any pressurizations, anything like that to clear. We've got a couple of minutes to hang there. We will only hold if there's an issue, and we're not tracking any holds on the board right now.
That's right. Now, once T-minus 60 seconds passes, a number of events will occur in rapid succession.
Oh
Both the
boy.
ship and booster will configure their comm systems for flight, and they will rapidly run
Propellant
leak
loading
checks on
is gonna be
gas
wrapping
and
up
fuel
here.
tanks. Meanwhile, the booster will be going into internal power, and its engines will get their final priming for launch. Those ship engines will also begin their ascent lead profile, and it will arm its automatic flight safety system. There's a lot of mechanical activations on the tower side as well, with one critical step being unlatching of the quick disconnect, feeding propellant into the ship.
Alright, well, let's get ready to make history, everybody. The first Starship test flight to deploy the first version 3 Starlink satellites into space. This is going to be an absolutely incredible mission here. An absolutely incredible Starship test flight here. So, here we go. Propellant loading is going to be wrapping up here.
The flame diverter on pad 2, you can see it there at the base of Starship. That activates at T-minus 17 seconds. Now, if we trigger a hold after T-minus 17 seconds, that will result in a scrub for the day, as we've already turned on the water.
Alright.
Now, for those that have just recently
3 minutes until Starship Flight 13.
Test objectives for today's
Propellant loading is starting to wrap up here. Starship 40 and Booster 20 are getting ready to be fully fueled here. 20 minutes 50 seconds until Starship Flight 13. Hashtag Happy America 250. Yeah, 250 years of the United States of America. Alright, here we go. In a second now, we should be able to see the gimbal testing for Booster 20's 13 gimbaling Raptor 3 engines.
Going to be super excited to see if we can return those safely back, so that way we can get ready for tower catches again.
Yeah, I'm so ready to see Mechazilla catching happen again.
We got our final green light from the range, not tracking any issues on ascent or out in the Indian Ocean for entry, so that was
2 minutes, 10
the
seconds.
final go for flight that we wait for in these final minutes. Prop load now closing out on both vehicles.
Propellant loading is closing out. 2 minutes.
Again, we've got that
Alright.
gate at T-minus 1 minute.
1 minute and 54 seconds until Starship Flight 13 launches. Alright, I think that's the venting. Alright, here we go. Here's Booster 20's engines, and here we go. Let's see those gimbals. Let's see them gimbal. Yeah, I see them. I see them. Those engines are gimbling. Booster 20 is 13 gimbaling Raptor V3 engines are gimbaling, doing their final steering checks before launch. Here we go. So here we go. That's the final small test before launch. Get ready to see all 33 Raptor V3s ignite for the liftoff. And here we go. That's going to be coming up in 1 minute from now. And so here we go, everybody. It's time to count down the final minute until SpaceX Starship 13th Orbital Test Flight launches. All right, here we go, everybody. 1 minute. So that's the orbital launch mount vent. All right, here we go. 54 seconds.
Through the gate. Still no holds on the board.
All right, so get ready to see the fire suppression system on the orbital launch mount activate. And then shortly after, the flame diverter water deluge system activate. And then shortly after, the top deck water deluge system activate as well. And then at 3 seconds, we'll see Booster 20 ignite all 33 engines. So here we go. 30 seconds, flight directors go for launch. Alright, it's time, everybody. Time for SpaceX Starship 13th Orbital Test Flight. Alright, that's the sound of the fire suppression system on the orbital launch mount activating. And here we go. It's time to count down to SpaceX Starship 13th Orbital Test Flight, everybody. Let's count down from 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Super Heavy Booster 20, ignition. All 33 Raptor 3s lit and liftoff of SpaceX Starship 13th Orbital Test Flight. The 13th SpaceX Starship test flight is off and away. The second test flight of Starship version 3. Go Starship 40 and Super Heavy Booster 20. Booster 20 propulsion is nominal with all 33 Raptor V3s lit and burning on Booster 20.
Into flight 33 and a 33 Raptor engines lit on the Super Heavy Booster arcing away from us here at Starbase.
All right. Our max Q, we're coming up on max Q, maximum aerodynamic pressure, which is going to be higher than any Starship test flight we have ever seen.
Maximum aerodynamic pressure.
Here we go.
For this flight is going to be higher than
Oh, we got a little bit of a vapor cone there.
previous Starship flights.
Oh yes, look at them awesome camera views. Yeah. All right, Starship is supersonic and crossing through max Q, maximum aerodynamic pressure. So we're not throttling down here. We are still going at full thrust.
Seeing 33 out of 33 Raptor
Under the power of 33 Raptor V3 engines, producing 18 million pounds of thrust. So, over a minute from now, it's going to be hot staging separation. We're going to see Booster 20 shut down all but 5 Raptor 3 engines, and then Starship 40 ignite its 3 Raptor V3 sea level engines and 3 Raptor 3 V3 vacuum engines, and a bit of a different sequence than previously. So they're going for a directional flip. They're going to ignite 2 Raptor vacuum engines first, and ignite 1 sea level engine, and then shortly after ignite the last Raptor vacuum engine, and then the other 2 sea level engines. All right, so here we go. We're rolling for hot staging. So the booster is going to be flipping straight up here. That's our goal here. So the engine. So the engines have been more robust. And here we go. The engine configuration has been more robust. All right, here we go. Prepare for hot staging separation. All right, there's the engine layout. Booster 20, most engines cut off. And Starship 40 ignition. And hot staging separation confirmed. And here's visual confirmation.
6 ignite.
All right, hot staging separation confirmed. Booster 20 is in its boost back burn with all 33 Raptor 3s lit for the boost back burn. This is exactly as planned. All right, now we're down selected to 13.
33 initially, now we're down to 13. We're seeing 6 out of 6 Raptors lit on the ship.
Everything looking nominal so far, and down select to 3 engines, and then booster 20 boost back burn shutdown. All right, everything looking nominal on the first 3 minutes of Starship Flight 13.
Get through the boost back burn this time around.
All right, booster 20 has made it through its boost back burn, so the engine configuration has been made to be more robust, and we did that directional flip straight up to boost performance, and yeah, they have it.
That the booster is going to be doing to kind of send it back towards us. It's going to be landing a couple of miles offshore.
Everything looking nominal on Starship 40 with those 6 Raptor V3 engines. So we're looking perfect here.
They're going to ignite. That's what's going to really bleed off all that velocity that it's built up. And it'll eventually, hopefully, transition to 5 engines to kind of fine-tune its path in, and then all the way down to 3.
So for the ocean landing burn, we're going to ignite those 13 gimbaling Raptor V3 engines, and then we're going to down select to 5 Raptor V3 engines, and then down select to 3 Raptor 3 engines shortly after.
Ship's got about 4 minutes left.
So
getting some killer views.
getting some epic views. Wow, this is looking incredible here. Booster 20 and making a lot more progress than what Booster 19 did on Flight 12. All right, 6 Raptor V3s looking nominal on Starship 40. So,
big blob.
yeah,
Now speaking
they had a
of that,
Raptor
you can
vacuum
see,
engine out.
both
They had a
stages
Raptor
there
vacuum
on
engine
the
go out
screen.
like shortly after
Starship
hot
7
staging on
still
Starship
firing
39
its
on
engines.
flight
You can follow
12.
along with that.
Well,
But the
we're
good
looking
news
nominal
down on
here.
the bottom right-hand side of
We
your
do have engine out
screen.
capability, so if one of the engines
Still
go out,
following the
we'll
planned
still be
flight path
fine.
as well. Beautiful views of
Oh
Planet
wow,
Earth
look at
there.
that! Look at the engine camera view. Look at the engine camera, the engine bay
That's right,
camera.
and we're actually getting
You saw
a
the
live
plumes
shot
from
off
the
the booster right now.
Raptor
On
seal over
our
engines and a
camera.
bit from the
You can
Raptor
see the plume
vacuums.
from Starbase.
Alright,
We're
Booster
just
20
lifted
coming
off 5
down.
minutes
Starship
ago.
on nominal trajectory.
Both stages are on nominal trajectories.
We are
Alright.
there.
We are there. That is us.
Alright,
I want to run back outside and
coming back down.
Right.
We're going to be
Now,
descending at
again,
a
this
higher
booster
angle of
is not
attack
planning
here
to
for the
come
booster
back to
descend.
the tower or to
We're going to be
launch site for this particular launch. We
descending
are
from
gonna be
supersonic
going to do an
speeds.
Ocean splashdown just off the coast of
Oh
Starbase.
wow, look at
We're
that.
still
Alright,
have
Starship
some
40
amazing
is
views of that.
rolling into its position for the rest of the ascent and burn. Alright, we're coming down fast. Prepare for the speed to start slowing down here. So 40 kilometers above Earth.
Those are the sea level
Alright,
winds,
here we go.
as well as the vacuum.
Wow, some cool shot of
V3
Starship 40 is
out
6
there.
Raptor V3 engines. Alright, speeds at apogee and coming down. We're descending.
Just like on tower
We're
catches, we
slowing
are going
down,
to be doing a
going through atmospheric entry on booster 20.
to slow the booster down.
We're slowing
Hopefully
down.
we can get a live camera of the
15
booster
kilometers
right
above
now
Earth.
as we're
Alright,
going into that
prepare for
phase.
booster 20 to do
Awesome
its
shot. You can see
ocean
there.
landing in the
Right now,
Gulf
the
of
booster is using their
in the Gulf of
green
America.
hypersonic griffins
And
as
we're
a
gonna
atmosphere
simulate the Mechazilla catch right now. So here we go. There's the engine layout, and here we go.
Above the sea right here.
Booster 20 ocean landing burn startup. Oh my Godzilla! Looks like we got multiple engines out. We got 8 engines. Now down select to 5 engines. Looks like we're doing that engine out capability on the booster. And oh no, we're coming in too fast. Brace for impact. Oh no. Oh no.
Another awesome landing for Super
Well,
Heavy.
another awesome landing. Much better progress than Flight 12. Might need to improve the ocean landing burn a bit more. But yeah, hopefully they'll might have a much softer ocean landing than what Booster 20 just did. But well, congrats Booster 20. You yeah, Booster 20
About a minute left.
yeah, Booster 20 Booster 20 made 95% success on Starship Flight 13. But yeah, still much better. Much better this time than what we saw previously.
And as you saw, it came in with quite a bit of velocity still, so
Yeah.
landing velocity did look a little bit high, but really
still it
we'll
improved
make all the way
though.
back this time to that landing burn. We'll dig in, figure out how to turn on all those engines, and then get to a full landing soon.
We'll
But
get to a full landing
on ship,
on Flight
we are
14 here.
just a little ways away from getting those engines turned off. We expect it to burn about 8 minutes.
Starship 40 is in terminal guidance.
And so hopefully just about 15 minutes to go.
Oh, I heard the sonic booms from Booster 20.
We just got
Nice.
the sonic boom
Yeah,
here
for sure.
at,
Alright, prepare for a Starship 40 engine cutoff here anytime now. Alright, Starship 40 engine cutoff. We shut down all engines at once. Alright, Starship 40 engine cutoff. We're now in space. Yeah!
All right, Starship 6 Raptor engines have successfully shut down.
Nominal orbit insertion.
Alright, nominal orbit insertion. We are
And they're
officially
gonna
in
call out
space.
Nominal orbit insertion. So
Yeah.
we have the ship in space. We've got a booster.
So, the most exciting part of Starship Flight 13 is complete.
Yeah, it
Now
sure
time
is.
for the new exciting part of Starship. Now time for the other exciting part of Starship Flight 13, which is going to be the deployment of the 20 Starlink V3 satellites. Alright, we're testing the flaps in space.
That's right. And as guaranteed,
Wow.
it has been an awesome day so far. All
It's
this
been an
action
awesome day
just
for real.
9 minutes now. And objectives are done for the booster. Just want to quickly flag that that booster did land in a clear zone. We cleared those before launch, well ahead, so that we ensure everyone is safe before the launch and after. So we're getting ready now for our in-space objectives.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've got a few minutes
All right.
until the next milestone.
So the next
sit
major
tight
milestone
and
is
enjoy
going to
the
be
space views
Starship
and
40's
space
payload
jams.
deploy
We'll be
demo.
back here at T plus 14 minutes to deploy our payload, which is 20 of our newest Starlink version 3 satellites. So we'll see you soon.
We're going to be deploying real Starlink version 3 satellites this time. We're not going to be deploying test satellites, some fake test satellites. Yeah, we're not going to be deploying fake satellites. No more test satellites anymore. This is the real thing here for real. Alright, we're going to deploy 20 Starlink version 3 satellites. Alright, we're now 10 minutes into Starship Flight 13. So, while Booster 20 was landing, yeah, a few of the engines did not ignite for the first part of the, for the ocean landing burn, but they ignited like, there were like 8 engines ignited initially, then we down selected to 5 engines, but they were in a different configuration because, because there were a few engines out, and Booster 20 had to do its engine out capabilities. But it turns out its engine out capabilities weren't enough to slow it down all the way. But yeah, while back at Starbase, Starbase did Pad 2 did a water deluge system test while Booster 20 was landing, and that was basically Booster 20 simulating its Mechazilla catch. Yeah, so I really hope we get our booster catch back again. I hope we return to booster catching here soon. But first, I need to do a successful and perfect ocean landing in the Gulf of America for Super Heavy Booster version 3. So just a little bit of a recap, they were able to successfully land the booster for the first time on Flight 4, which was all the way back in 2024. And then in October of 2024, on the 13th, they able to successfully do the historic booster catch featuring Booster 12, which now resides in the Rocket Garden to this day. Alright, so we're coming up on payload deploy demo. It's coming up here on the little timeline thing here. So we're going to be opening up the payload bay door for the deployment of the 20 Starlink version 3 satellites on Starship 40. And yeah. So we're orienting here. So Starship 40 is using its RCS thrusters to reorient and position itself in any direction in space. And yeah. Those RCS thrusters are working perfectly on Starship now. Those new version 3 changes are holding up perfectly. Alright, you see them going to work right there. Alright, so you see a Starship 40 venting right there. Probably, presumably, some of its propellant. Alright, so now getting oriented for the payload deploy demo here of the first version 3 Starlink satellites. So get ready to see the payload bay door open up. You can see the door. You see the door on top of the S40 decal right there. Starship 40 has. Yeah, that's the payload bay door.
Back. If you're just joining us, we're getting ready to deploy 20 Starlink version 3 satellites.
For the first time. Yep.
We open the payload door.
So get ready for the payload bay door to open up here shortly.
Missed the previous 14 minutes. This is
So they
the
gave the
SpaceX
payload bay,
Starship version. This is Flight 13. It lifted off. It had a beautiful ascent as well as a ship ignition and stage separation. It was literally picture perfect from here at Starbase.
So
Picture perfect, and then we continued with that booster hot stage separation. Amazing to see some live replays of that, and of course the booster performing its own boost back and landing.
Yeah, ship continued for about 8 minutes with all 6 of its engines and made it to second engine cutoff, where we heard good orbital insertion, and we've been coasting in space for the last few minutes. Now we're getting ready to deploy our very first real Starlink version 3 satellites.
the Starlink V3 satellites for the first time.
About 6 seconds from now. Now we won't have the same views
Alright.
as we did.
So the Starlink version 3 satellites are gonna be equipped with cameras, like 6 of them. 6 of the Starlink V3 satellites are equipped with cameras, and they'll be recording and viewing some imagery of Starship 40 in space. Oh, here we go. I think Starship 40 is opening up its payload bay door right now. As you can see right there. Yep, Starship 40 is opening up its payload bay door right now.
We should see the door open up really soon if we haven't quite gotten it open already.
Oh,
We've got
so get ready for
20
the
of these Starlink
get ready for more visual side of the door opening up. You should see the light. Oh wow,
And so
starting to change color here.
this is the first time
Starting
we've
to turn
got
blue.
V3 satellites getting ready to go into space. And I mean these
So
things
Starship
are
40 is in the orientation
really
for a
just
payload
like
deployed
crazy
demo.
upgrades
Oh,
that
it's turning
are gonna
yellow.
bring the network where you start talking about just symmetric gigabits
Oh, there it is.
through the Starlink.
There it is.
Pretty much anywhere on the
Starship
planet.
40's payload bay door has 100% fully
So
opened.
really exciting. These satellites are only going to be in space for
So
about
Starship-
20 minutes.
So Starship 40's 20 Starlink V3 satellites are going to be in space for 20 minutes, and they're going to burn up upon atmospheric entry.
These will only be in space for about 20 minutes.
But they'll test
These are
out
the same suborbital trajectory
their
as
solar
Starship
arrays,
itself.
thrusters, and laser
This
links.
is essentially.
All right,
just
here we
giving
go.
us a
Prepare
chance
to
try
see
and run as
payload
many
deployment
tests
happen
as
with the first 2
possible.
Starlink version 3 satellites deploying from Starship 40's payload bay.
Whatever we can on these vehicles. We are intentionally being a little scrappy with it. They might be playing some bumper cars once they're out of the door. But we
All right,
are
here we go.
looking to get these deployed over the next couple of minutes.
Stand by
In
for
the-
payload
in the
deploy demo
meantime, they're
of
getting
Starship
ready to,
40's 20
also
Starlink V3
do
satellites, the
Raptor
first
Space
Starlink
Flight.
version 3 satellites to
Takes
be
a little
deployed
bit
in
of conversation
space
on that, but
from
we are
Starship.
currently tracking to do it.
This is the first time this is ever happening. All right, here we go. And the first Starlink version 3 satellites deploying. Starship is deploying the first Starlink version 3 satellites.
Huge milestone for the team.
Extremely huge milestone for the Starship program.
Definitely hyped about this.
Ah, yes. First 2 Starlink version 3 satellites deployed from Starship 40's payload bay.
Now, this version of Starship is built to deploy up to 60 of these more advanced Starlink versions.
So Starship version 3 is designed to deploy 60 total Starlink satellites.
Downlink capacity. Now, let's put that into Falcon 9 terms real quick. A Starship launch with V3
So that was satellites 1 and 2 deployed.
times the capacity into the constellation as a single launch of V2 satellites on Falcon 9. Just incredible.
And anybody that follows Starship,
All right,
you know,
third Starlink version 3 satellite deployed.
Right now, the views we get during those re-entries, that's made possible. by
Oh,
Starlink.
yes.
It's given us just this unprecedented look into
And
Starship as
fourth
it's
Starlink version 3 satellite
into the
deployed.
atmosphere. It's powering the dozens of cameras we have on board. It's giving us real-time data on every system that's telemetered on board that vehicle in real time. We use the exact same constellation to power all of our cameras that we have out in the field here in the Indian
Right.
Ocean.
This is
So
a huge
really
milestone for the Starship program
technology
here,
for
a historic
just connecting you
milestone.
no matter where the heck you are on the planet, off the planet. So thank you, Starlink, for letting me watch this stuff as we fly through space. It's pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
thank you, Starlink,
We
for
get
letting us watch this
about
stuff.
240 megabits
All right.
per second of data.
All right,
speed.
fifth Starlink version 3 satellite deployed.
Everybody in the spaceflight community knows that's pretty insane when you're usually dealing systems. So
And
gives you a lot of insight. Gives
6
you a lot of ability
Starlink
to
version 3
actually
satellite
know
deployed.
what the heck happened when things go wrong. But looks like we're seeing some more satellites.
All right,
get
6
out
satellites
there.
deployed from
We
Starship
do
40's
have
payload base so
cameras
far.
on some of them. The last couple that are going to go out are going to try and do the heat shield imaging that we attempted last flight.
Yeah.
We don't have that camera view that we got on Flight 12 where you kind of see the satellite leaving Starship. Those aren't on the V3 satellites. But we are going to, on the last couple that go out, have some pretty narrow field view cameras that are going to be looking back at Starship, turn on some flashlights.
All right.
And this is
7th
a test of
Starlink
the
version 3
capability
satellite
that
deployed.
we're gonna want,
So yeah, the
when we
Starlink
start
version
the
3
orbital.
satellites,
Just have
the
that
6 of them are going to be
extra
equipped
layer
with
of
lights.
safety, that extra layer
So
of
it's
reliability
better view of
where we're
Starship
gonna be
40
able
in
to
space.
image Starship's heat shield after it's
And
gone through acid,
8th
after it's been in space
Starlink version
before
3
it's
satellite
used.
deployed
So
from
we're
Starship
gonna
40's
try and
payload
test that
bay.
again today. The heat shield imaging, we didn't get
I almost
full
just
lot
about
last night
lost track
because
of
we got some thunderstorms
counting.
on
Oh,
the planet as
thunderstorms. Yeah, I love
A
thunderstorms.
couple more satellites to go, looks like.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome to see our V3s in space. I want to give a shout out to our Starlink colleagues. And we expect payload deploy to run until about 27.5 minutes, so about another 7 minutes here.
So that was 7 and 8 that just deployed. Here comes 9 and 10. So the 9th Starlink version 3 satellite deployed.
Satellites, where they will attempt to do a few tests, such as extend the new solar arrays and antennas.
And
They're also gonna
10th
try
Starlink version 3 satellite deployed from Starship 40's payload bay.
and turn
So
on the
10 out of 14, 10 out of 20 Starlink version 3 satellites deployed from Starship 40's payload bay.
20 minutes or so to do all of this, as the satellites only
10
have that
10
long
satellites
before
deployed.
they demise in the atmosphere or break up
10 out of 20
due
deployed.
to that friction when they re-enter the atmosphere. So what we learned from today's deployment will help progress and move the program forward, which is super exciting. You could basically say that the payload's payload is data. We're
Alright.
very inception.
11th Starlink version 3
Now,
satellite
in addition
deployed
to those
from Starship
tests
40's
for
payload bay.
Starlink, for the Starlink team,
11th
as Dan
Starlink
mentioned,
V3 satellite
6
deployed.
of the satellites have been modified with engineering cameras
And
to
12th
scan
Starlink V3
Starship's
satellite
shield.
deployed.
That will help inform
Yeah.
our analysis of Starship's readiness for future catch
I think
returns. back
we're gonna
here
be
at
on
our
this
launch
camera
site.
view
So
from the
those
flap
that might
looking
be
at this
familiar,
here.
We are currently capable of catching our super heavy booster. We've done that a couple times. We have not yet attempted to catch our second stage or ship. And so that is,
Starship,
going
yeah,
to be a
Starship
very
spacecraft
exciting
needs to be
milestone when that day
caught.
comes.
We'll see how the ocean landing goes, and then we'll
Today's
find out
test,
here.
we are still planning to do our water splashdown in the Indian Ocean, so stay tuned for that. That's
So
only about
12
40 minutes
Starlink
away.
V3 satellites
But
deployed.
still in space, we keep on deploying
13
our
Starlink version 3
satellites.
satellites deployed.
Again, these are our V3 version of our Starlink
V3
satellites.
satellites,
Full
yeah.
host of added capabilities to our version 2 that's
And,
currently in orbit.
14th Starlink V3 satellite deployed.
And this is our
14
here
satellites
at
deployed.
Starbase, Texas.
These are all of the team members that have helped build the vehicle, that have helped build the Pez dispenser, and got it ready to fly today. Amazing work.
14 satellites deployed.
Now, for those of you that have just recently tuned in,
So,
there is
Get ready for the satellites to turn on their flashlights
right
and get
now,
their imagery.
The ship is in orbital darkness, so we don't have any available sunlight
Yeah,
from
orbital
the sun
darkness.
to help illuminate
Alright.
the scene.
15
but what you can
Starlink
see,
V3 satellites
moving out
deployed.
From that smally lit space, those are the V3 satellites as they're being deployed. And essentially, the ship is illuminated from the inside,
Alright,
and so we're
and
able to see the light.
16
come out
Starlink
through
version
the
3
gateway.
satellites deployed.
Alright, just a really
So they
small
should be
sliver
get ready
of light
to
at the top. That's
turn
our
the
Pez
lights on
dispenser.
here.
That's how we're
16
both
deployed.
loading our satellites into the rocket and deploying it. It's pretty novel. We've got about 3.5 minutes still left of our payload deploy sequence.
It looks like we've got 16 satellites deployed, so 4 more
Yep,
to
16
go.
Starlink version 3 satellites
Last
deployed.
couple will have those cameras, so if
Get ready
you
for 17
see
and
any
18 to
sudden
deploy.
bright lights, that'll be flashlights turning on those satellites to try and get some
Alright,
imagery
17
to start
Starlink
to
V3 satellites deployed.
17 out the door.
Yep, 17 out the door.
3 more to go, and 18.
3 more to go. And 18 Starlink V3 satellites deployed. 2 more to go.
We wait for these last 2. We did confirm we are still go for our Raptor relight demonstration a little bit later in the flight today, so we will be looking to relight one of those Raptor engines on ship.
Yep.
That'll be our next major milestone after we get through these final 2 satellites.
Alright. Get ready to see the final 2 Starlink version 3 satellites deployed from Starship 40's payload bay.
Just at 25 minutes into our flight, it's crazy to think that we're already screaming at 27,000 kilometers an hour, 200 kilometers above the ocean surface. Amazing.
Alright, here we go. Stand by for the final 2 Starlink V3 satellites to deploy.
Almost all of our 20 Starlink satellites. I believe our last count was at 18, so we should be seeing 2 more. And we're
The
very
final
excited
2 are
to see
getting
our
ready to
version
deploy.
3 satellites in space. And these are fully, these are real satellites. They're not just demonstration sats like we had last time. These are going to basically have a 20-minute lifespan where our Starlink engineering team will attempt to perform a number of tests and really speed run those tests during that time.
Right, and in terms of satellite lifespans, 20 minutes is it's the shortest you could possibly get, but hopefully in that 20-minute time frame we can really try
Oh,
to
there's
keep
the
out
light.
as many tests as we can.
There's the flashlight.
It looks like we might have some.
Yeah, there's a flashlight from
this might actually be light from
one of the Starlink V3
as we
satellites.
mentioned before, for
Alright,
them
get
to
ready for the final
actually
2 Starlink version 3 satellites to deploy from Starship 40's payload bay. I think they're extending out and testing out their thrusters. I believe they're extending out and I believe they're extending out their solar arrays and testing out their thrusters and laser links by now. So, yeah. Get ready for the final 2 Starlink V3 satellites to deploy. Anytime now. We're
40
waiting.
seconds away from that planned payload deployment sequence being complete.
Yep, looks like we've just got those last 2 to go.
Oh, there's
These ones might
some
be
more
coming
light.
out. They're starting to see motions.
Oh, there it is. 19 Starlink version 3 satellites deployed. And that leaves 20.
19 out the door, 1 more.
Here comes number 20 out the door. And just like that, all 20 Starlink version 3 satellites have been deployed from Starship 40's payload bay. A huge historic milestone for the Starship program.
If I'm not mistaken,
Absolutely
20th.
incredible.
So our payload deploy sequence is now complete.
So payload deployment sequence is now complete. Starship 40 is going to close its payload bay door.
Still a lot of major events to come today.
And also do its roll as expected. Oh wow, look at that light. Alright, there's the payload bay door closing, and Starship 40 is now starting to rotate here.
Yeah, so sit tight, enjoy the views, and of course some more space jams, and we will come back here at T plus 37 minutes for our Raptor engine relight and of course Starship re-entry.
I think that trail right there is the Starlink V3 satellites deployed. That deployed. Oh, I think they're testing out their thrusters right now. Yeah, I think that's the Starlink version 3 satellites Starship 40 deployed from its payload bay right there. They're testing out their solar arrays and their thrusters and laser links. So Starship 40 is rolling at this point. They're gonna let Starship 40 is gonna let the satellites get some imagery. If it's heat shield, make sure it's fully go for atmospheric entry.
Check out complete.
Alright, Starship 40 is moving its flaps. Flap testing. Wow. This is absolutely incredible. Alright, so we're 30 minutes into SpaceX Starship 13th Orbital Test Flight. Wow. I think in another minute or two we'll go to the in-space Raptor engine relight demo. But yeah, there you have it. Starship 40 has deployed its 20 Starlink version 3 satellites and is now getting ready for its next objectives, the in-space Raptor engine relight demo and atmospheric entry and the ocean landing in the Indian Ocean. Alright, well so far this has been an extremely successful Starship test flight. So yeah, Starship 40 and Booster 20 lifted off successfully from Orbital Launch Site 2 at Starbase's launch site. Booster 20 and Starship 40 went to space with Booster 20 doing a full duration descent burn with all 33 Raptor V3 engines lit. They went through max Q, which was much higher than it has been on previous Starship test flights. And then they went into space. Starship 40 and Booster 20 did their hot staging separation, with Booster 20 shutting down all but 5 Raptor V3 engines. And then Starship 40 igniting its 6 Raptor V3 engines in that sequence. And then Starship 40 and Booster 20 separated in hot staging separation. Booster 20 did a successful directional flip, went straight up, and then did its boost back burn with all 33 Raptor V3 engines lit for the boost back burn. And then completed its boost back burn. Made it through the boost back burn that time, and then descended down to the Gulf of America and attempted to do its ocean landing burn. But there has to be a little bit more improvements on the ocean landing burn for that here, because Booster 20 ignited probably 8 Raptor V3s for the ocean landing burn, and those engine out capabilities didn't work as much. That didn't work a whole lot. Well, yeah, you get the point. But yeah, Starship 40 now coasting through space, doing another flap testing, and I think after that flap test, we'll go. Wow, look at that! The thunderstorms in the background, and Starship 40 testing its flaps. And look at that! Those are the Starlink version 3 satellites right there. All right. So I think it's probably now time for us to skip to the Raptor engine relight demo now. So let's go ahead and let's fast forward it all the way to the in-space Raptor engine relight demo right about here.
Out of orbit.
Oh wait, hold on. Right when commentary starts here. Right about right here. Right at 37 minutes.
Welcome back once again
yeah,
to the Flight 13 webcast. If you're just joining us, our newest version of Starship, which
Starship
is there on
version
your screen,
3
successfully deployed 20 Starlink version 3 satellites. And I've got great news to share. Not only were we able to make contact with all 20, but we also made comms over lasers with all of them as well. So that is awesome. Hell yeah, shout out
Heck
to
yeah.
our Starlink team. We're so thrilled.
Huge milestone, and that's only 3 minutes or 5 minutes after deploying them. I mean,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Amazing. And right now, we are expecting a relight of a single Raptor engine, and that's going to be
A
coming
single
up
Raptor
in
V3
just
engine
over
getting
a
ready
minute and a
to
half.
ignite.
That's right, we are going to be lighting one of our sea level Raptor engines, and this is
Just above
essentially
South
just
Africa
a
here.
demonstration that you can relight an engine after it's already done its ascent burn. And this is going to be really important when we do maneuvers for orbital missions, whether we're relighting to go into orbit, or if you're already in orbit and you're getting ready to do a deorbit burn. We did hear our Raptor team is go for the engine relight, so not going to be skipping it on this one.
Yeah.
So we should.
Yeah, we
see that
skipped it due to the that
just
engine
about
anomaly.
30 seconds
Yeah,
from now.
we previously skipped it during due to that engine anomaly on Starship 39 on flight 12. But no anomalies here. We're looking perfect here, so we're go for the Raptor engine relight demo.
For what we'll eventually need to do when we do orbital missions, when you got to relight those engines, do a burn to get yourself out of orbit. One thing
So we're
that is
testing
unique on this one is
Starship
we're gonna be lighting it,
capability. We're testing out Starship's capability to relight a Raptor engine in space. All right, here we go. Here's the engine layout for Starship 40. Prepare for Starship 40's in-space Raptor engine relight demo.
So that should be
All right, here we
coming
go.
up within the next couple of seconds. Let's stand by.
Stand by for a relight demo. All right, here we go. Starship 40 in-space Raptor engine relight demos ignition. Oh my Godzilla. That looks absolutely spectacular. Wow.
We'll see relight there on your
And shut down.
Wow.
That might have been, wow.
and confirmation over the net.
That was absolutely spectacular. That might have been the best relight demo I've seen on Starship yet.
I mean, it's crazy to see how he can.
Wow, that was absolutely spectacular. That might have been seen from the ground at South Africa.
We'll be taking another quick break. We'll be back in a couple of minutes before re-entry.
That was probably seen from the ground, yeah.
About T plus 47 minutes.
I think flaps. Alright, entering atmospheric entry. Alright, yeah, here we go. I think it's time. Atmospheric entry preparations are underway. And now it's time for Starship 40's atmospheric entry phase of Starship Flight 13. So we're going to go ahead and skip over to where we see the atmospheric entry heating. Right about here. Like, yeah. We'll start like right about here. Alright. Wait, hold on. Yeah, right here. Okay, so there we go. Starship 40 is now going through atmospheric entry. Or, actually, let's go to right about here, actually. So you can get the best part, yeah. 42 minutes, 42 minutes. 42 minutes, we start there. Alright, Starship 40 is now going through atmospheric entry. Slowing down. We're getting ready to slow down because we haven't hit the part yet. So I hope all of you are enjoying this video. If you are, please give the video a like and subscribe to Godzilla King _Nights video 4-23 for more incredible videos like this and for more extremely awesome YouTube videos like this, and to get my YouTube channel to 100 subscribers on YouTube this year in 2026. As of right now, I currently have 91 subscribers on YouTube. So please do like the videos and subscribe to my YouTube channel to get my YouTube channel to 100 subscribers on YouTube this year, because that's going to be like the biggest milestone for me on my YouTube channel yet. Alright. So as you can see, we got some tiles, some thermal protection system, heat shield tiles on Starship 40's windward side. Give me 1 second. Just kind of adjust my camera there. There we go. Alright. Yeah. Oh, we can see that heat starting to intensify. The plasma entry heating. The plasma heating is starting to intensify. So Starship 40
is starting entry, good attitude for entry.
Starship 40 is starting atmospheric entry and is on nominal altitude and nominal trajectory. So we're looking perfect here. Alright, so there's Starship 40's Raptor V3 engines there. Alright, so we're now in our orientations for atmospheric entry. The plasma heating is intensifying.
Welcome back once again to
There's
Starship
live commentary.
Flight
So we're
13, the second
100 kilometers above
Starship
Earth.
Version 3. As you can see by these pretty
2
cool
plus
views on
45
your screen,
minutes.
the ship is currently re-entering the Earth's atmosphere. Now, we probably have some first-time viewers tuning in today, so let's talk about this phase.
Yep.
Right, so re-entry, it's a critical phase of flight, and we need information on how the ship's systems perform. So re-entry, you can see that speed in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. We have to scrub all of that speed down, so that way we can safely land. It's a lot of energy to be able to scrub down, and it's all the energy that we just used to launch the rocket as well. So Starlink will also help us gather as much data as possible, which is really the main reason why we do these flight tests, is to see how the ship performs in space and evaluate how it works. Starlink provides us with one more path to collect data to help us rapidly iterate Starship society.
Yeah, exactly. And if the ship manages to again make it all the way through re-entry, we'll collect valuable data on the spacecraft flying through the Earth's atmosphere, and it's doing so at hypersonic speeds, or more than 5 times the speed of sound.
Yes, we're doing this at
Re-entry
hypersonic
is typically
speeds.
a portion of flight where we don't have communications with spacecraft because it's re-entering at or around orbital velocity, which is roughly...
You can also see the upgraded catch pin that they have right there. They're going to be simulating a Mechazilla catch with those catch pins.
So fast that it creates a plasma
sides.
field around the vehicle.
So Starship 40 does have a few patches of heat shield tiles on it. Starship 39 had a lot of patches of heat shield tiles on it, basically to test new materials for the heat shield, or basically to test out there's basically doing a lot of heat shield tests. I think alright, flaps have full control, Starship 40. Wow, look at this, blue and magenta, my favorite colors.
That's actually a camera affixed to the flap. So as I was saying, we're testing these, doing these landings instead of more traditional means, so that way, propulsive landing, we can enable more rapid reusability.
Yeah. Now, we did just hear that call out. We should continue to hear some call outs as the ship makes its way back to Earth. Now, when we hear something called entry max heating, as well as entry max Q, that means that the ship has made it through the maximum heating and aerodynamic loads that it experiences as it returns. So, safe to say that if it makes it through those specific points, we're doing pretty well.
Yeah.
That's right, so we'll continue to hear multiple callouts as we go through this phase. One of those callouts will be that the ship is transonic. We'll also hear another one when it's subsonic. Transonic will be referring to the period of flight where velocities of airflow surrounding and flowing past the vehicle are concurrently below, at, and above the speed of sound, so somewhere in the range of Mach 0.8 to 1.2. For reference, commercial jets have a range of cruising speeds, but most fly at roughly Mach 0.74, 0.85. Just for reference, that's between 480 miles per hour to 575 miles per hour, or 770 to 930 kilometers an hour.
Yeah. Well,
And subsonic,
so yeah.
another call out that you'll hear later on in the stream, subsonic will refer to speeds that are much less than the speed of sound. So at this point in flight, the ship's velocity will be slowing down drastically. So with re-entry well underway, we'll take another break and return just before the ship's landing burn, targeted for T plus 1 hour and 5 minutes.
All right. So yeah, that's what we're going to be seeing here. Starship 40 going to be surviving atmospheric entry. So this time, we got no tiles removed this time. Last time they only removed one tile, and like other times they removed like a whole they removed like multiple heat shield tiles for extreme testing here, and Starship survived all those, oh yeah, we're coming down fast. 50 minutes into Starship Flight 13. Some more viewers looking at the flaps. That's the forward flap right there. This is the engine camera. Wow. With a blue color, blue and magenta. Wow. So we're going to be landing somewhere west of Australia right there. So yeah, we got no heat shield tiles removed on Starship 40. We're going to be simulating missing tiles with the with a few of the heat shield tiles painted white. They did that on Starship Flight 12 as well. So we're coming down very quickly. 24,000 kilometers per hour. That is definitely at hypersonic speeds. We're going to start slowing down even more. We'll go from hypersonic to supersonic, and then we'll go supersonic to transonic, and then we'll go from transonic to subsonic near the end of Starship Flight 13 here. Once we're through maximum entry heating, we will be doing our once we're through atmospheric entry heating, we'll start our RTLS baking maneuver, return to launch site baking maneuver, and then we'll do our turn for final approach to landing site, and then yeah, they'll all be coming up here after atmospheric entry. But wow, this looks absolutely amazing. Oh yeah. That heat shield's holding up strong. So with Starlink, they're able to communicate. They're able to communicate with Starship in real time here. This is views from Starlink. Views by Starlink. Camera views powered by Starlink via the Starlink terminals mounted on Starship 40. Oh yeah. So you see we're kind of like tilted slightly. Well, this is still stable here. This is like we've seen this on Starship Flight 12 here. They started doing that where they entered Earth's atmosphere like tilted at that angle, like that angle. That's probably to get a much better RTLS banking maneuver, probably. I wonder how many people can see Starship 40 go through atmospheric entry here. Probably about like a few people maybe. You also got the recovery team out there. So they're going to recover the Starship 40 like after it lands. Oh yeah. I'm gonna say 2026 has been an incredible year for me. An absolutely awesome year for me. Hope it's been absolutely incredible for all of you as well. Happy 250 years of the United States of America. I also have a 4th of July video about that if you want to go check it out. Like, yeah, a fireworks show like I have for 4th of July 2026 to celebrate America's 250th birthday. So we're going to be approaching 1 hour in Starship Flight 13. Well, you can see some of the atmospheric plasma heating on the catch pin right there. It's holding strong. See the flaps moving. Things are starting to get more intense here. We're starting to cross into daylight here. Engine bay camera. Yeah. Stand by for star cams. We got plenty of star cams on Starship 40 here that are active. Yep, we are crossing into daylight here. Starship 40 is potentially entering the maximum heating region. Starting to get really hot. Extremely hot. And that heat shield is taking up all the heat. So coming down from hypersonic speeds. Oh yeah. Alright. Get ready to see Starship get a little extreme here. Even more. We're gonna be, maximum heating is coming down. Atmospheric entry heating is coming down, which is perfect. So we're basically going to be simulating a return to launch site here. We're going to be doing the return to launch site baking maneuver, or the swoosh maneuver. Yeah, it's basically going to be doing a huge shift in our trajectory. And it's very important to return to the launch site for future missions. And yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing here next. We're coming down from hypersonic speeds to supersonic speeds. Looks like plasma entry heating's coming down. Wow. You see the stainless steel part all rainbow colored from the heat. So I think we've crossed to the maximum heating region. Under 10,000 kilometers per hour. We're slowing down. It's perfect.
Starship is leaving the peak heating phase of entry. External temperatures are coming down.
External temperatures are coming down. Next up is going to be Starship 40 executing the return to launch site baking maneuver, also known as the swoosh maneuver. Alright, so 1 hour into Starship Flight 13.
Starship is at maximum entry dynamic pressure.
Yep, Starship 40 is at maximum aerodynamic entry pressure. Coming down from hypersonic speeds and now at supersonic speeds. Oh yeah. Prepare for us to start supersonic drifting on the return to launch site baking maneuver, also known as the swoosh maneuver. Wow, look at that. Oh, it's incredible. See the flaps moving. Alright, so we're going to be like on our side here. Kind of like drifting. Through supersonic speeds to transonic speeds and then subsonic speeds. So we're going to hear the call out here from launch control here shortly. Alright. Starship is starting the RTLS baking maneuver. Wow, look at that. Simulating a return to launch site.
Starship is executing the swoosh maneuver.
Yeah, that's the call there. Execute the swoosh maneuver. So we're altering our trajectory
Pressure is coming down.
while doing this. And aerodynamic pressure is coming down. We're slowing down. We're now transonic.
Welcome back one last time to Starship Flight 13.
Here comes the finale.
Of Starship version.
Get ready for the grand finale of Starship Flight 13.
Crisp views from Starlink. The ship is currently re-entering the Earth's atmosphere over the Indian Ocean. And really for the last several minutes, we had some amazing Technicolor views. It really looked like it was made out of starlight.
Yeah.
Now, we did hear on the nets just moments ago that we made it through max heating
15
and
kilometers
max
above Earth.
dynamic pressure, meaning that the vehicle temperature
Starship is now
and
entering
speed
subsonic
and
speeds.
pressure are all coming down, and we can see that in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen as that speed continues to decelerate. We're coming up to the ship landing burn.
Yeah.
One of pretty much everybody's favorite part of Starship test flight days, and that's going to be coming up here in just about a minute or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, just about a minute away. We're going to try and light all 3 Raptor
Reignite
engines for
all
this
3
burn.
Raptor
We'll
V3 sea level
do the
engines
flip.
for Starship
We'll
40's
eventually go down
ocean
to
landing
as we
in
close
the
down
Indian
water,
Ocean.
Download to a final 1 engine before we hopefully execute a nice soft splash.
So yeah, we're gonna do 3 Raptor V3 sea level engines, then down select to 2 Raptor V3 sea level engines, and then down select to 1 Raptor V3 sea level engine.
Which from our initial looks,
Alright,
it
here we
did
go.
pretty
Starship
well.
40 is turning for a final approach to landing site.
All the visual data, as
There
we
it
get
is.
We didn't do any real stress tests or anything.
We're now orienting for final approach to the landing site. There we go. The grand finale is imminent.
The swoosh maneuver, this is kind of the final maneuver that we plan to have starships returning to Starbase do, that will essentially hook them out over
Alright,
the Gulf before
here we go.
coming in. And
We got buoy cameras and drones out there. There's the engine layout. Prepare for the grand finale of SpaceX Starship 13th Orbital Test Flight. Prepare for Starship 40 to do its Raptor engine-powered ocean landing in the Indian Ocean. Here we go. Prepare to see those 3 CLF engines ignite. Alright, there we go. Starship 40 ocean landing burn startup. 3 Raptor V3 CLF engines lit. We're now flipped. We're now vertical. Down select to 2 engines. And then down select to 1 engine. And Starship 40 ocean landing confirmed. And that's Starship Flight 13. And
we're in the water.
no explosion. Starship 40 did not explode. That was a soft ocean landing. That might have been the softest ocean landing we have ever seen on Starship yet. There's some flames. That might be methane getting depressed from the tank. That might be methane getting vented out from the tank. Huge milestone for the Starship program here. That's a first here. Starship 40 is in the ocean and it's floating. Wow. Starship 40 survived ocean landing and it did not explode.
Floating so serenely in the Indian Ocean, so we're
This is a first.
enjoying these extended views.
Wow.
Like I said, we're really pumped.
The Starship team, the recovery team, is 100% going to recover this for sure.
How is Hawthorne feeling about Lucky Flight 13?
Starship Flight 13 is Lucky
We are
13.
so excited about another successful Starship test flight and those gorgeous Starlink views that we had. And we can also confirm that we managed to make contact with all 20 of those V3 sats. So it's
Starship Flight 13 is Lucky 13. Oh my Godzilla, look at that.
Starlink, everyone here
Looking at the heat shield. The heat shield is intact.
Starship program as we make progress again towards a multi-planetary future. So
Wow.
thank you everyone for tuning in.
That was
Goodbye,
incredible.
Hawthorne, and back to you guys at Starbase.
Thanks so much, Tyler. Now, for anyone who perhaps missed the action, I suggest that you rewind.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Look at that.
View of
Look at this close-up view. Starship 40's thermal protection system heat shield is intact.
Entry, how it disperses the heat around.
That ocean landing was so perfect. The Mechazilla orbital launch tower could have caught it.
However short-lived
Wow.
that ship standing, bobbing in the water is, that is insane
That was
data for our team.
absolutely
It's
awesome.
unbelievable that we were able to keep that ship afloat. Now, we
They're able to
promised
keep
maximum
Starship 40
excitement,
afloat.
and
Look at that.
Starship V3 delivered. Congratulations to all of our teammates at
Wow.
SpaceX and to everyone who supported the Starship
Oh,
program.
this camera
Thank you
view
to all of our
from the
future
flap.
customers for your support.
Wow, look at that.
As you could tell, the crowd really enjoyed that Nemo cam for a moment. We'd also like to thank
Wow,
the
look at
fine
that.
people of Cameron County,
Wow.
The Federal Aviation Administration and the government of Mexico.
The amazing views do not end, so be sure
The views
to
are not
follow
ending.
SpaceX on X for updates
Yep.
and more of
The recovery team is gonna recover this for sure.
And to get an inside real
Starship 40 is 100% gonna be recovered in one piece for sure.
Rocket to life. Check out the latest episode of our documentary series Starship. And of course, thanks to all of you for tuning in. And we're gonna head back up to Dan for some additional thoughts.
Yeah, I'm losing my mind right now. We are still getting views from on board the ship with it in the water.
Yeah.
We had tried in the past to do these splashdowns as softly as possible. We experimented with rolls. This is the first time we've put an intact Starship in the water.
This is the first
This is
time
a
ever
great
that they
scenario for the team that's trying
are
to get
seeing
this
a
initial data.
Starship
Normally,
spacecraft
you're working with
intact in the
a
ocean.
slightly charged Starship in the water, and now we have one intact. So
Most of these
the recovery team
ended
is
up
going in with
exploding
everyone, and
at the
that's
end, but
we are
Starship
still
40
getting views
lives.
from Starship. It is
Starship
70s.
Flight 13 is
These
Lucky
are
13
from the
for
other side of the
sure.
world. While it is
Oh,
floating
yeah.
in the water after flying through space, like
Look
this
at that
is
heat
just
shield.
completely surreal right now.
It's intact.
This is just.
Care of you looking at the
We're
engines.
gonna get back. This is gonna be so critical for refining the heat shield, everything else.
That was so
And
perfect. The
the
orbital
really good
launch
news
tower
is
could
all
have
of
caught
these
it.
views that we're seeing, you're looking at a pretty.
Maybe that
intact
could be on
looking
Starship
heat
Flight
shield.
14. Who
As
knows?
a reminder, we were flying at a significantly higher
Oh,
dynamic pressure.
zoom up
putting
here.
Way more stress on this vehicle
Oh.
on the way uphill. And it's
I
sitting
think
there in the
we see
water,
some
and
tiles that are broken, but overall the heat shield is mostly
I'm a little bit
fully, completely, perfectly
on this.
intact.
I know a lot of our team is
Oh yeah,
just
some of the tiles are broken. You can see right there.
behind me.
But
I mean,
it made
everyone
it.
is psyched. Everyone's gathered around their computers looking at these close-ups that we're getting of these heat shield
Wow.
18,000 of them. I mean, you can probably count the ones that are missing right now on one hand. Like, this is just absolutely incredible.
This
In
is
fact,
absolutely
like,
incredible.
the cameras up,
Starship
the
40
pictures
just
that
floating in the
video
ocean.
is just a little bit surreal. So, wow. Lucky
Wow.
number 13.
Lucky Starship
Hell of a fight
13.
for Starship. Get it all the way there in the water.
Yeah.
Really great.
This has
day
been the
for
best Starship test flight
so-
yet. We'll see how insane Starship Flight 14 is going to be here.
As Kate and Nate said, we're gonna keep releasing more of this. Stay tuned. We've got some really cool stuff from some of the onboards that we caught.
Wow.
So keep following us.
That's
on
just
X,
unbelievable.
SpaceX. Whole bunch more cool imagery from launch from the.
This
flight
has
that's
been the
gonna be
most
coming out
historic
soon.
Starship test flight yet.
Yeah, let's just close on that. I mean, look at Starship
Wow.
in the Indian Ocean. That's fantastic.
Those
we'll see
Raptor
all
V3s
that
look
here for
perfect.
The next flight test of Starship version 3. With that, we'll say goodbye.
Alright, and just like that, that is the end of SpaceX Starship 13th Orbital Test Flight. Next up, SpaceX Starship 14th Orbital Test Flight. So, yeah, there you have it, Godzilla and Kaiju fans and everybody. That's going to be the end of the video there. That is Starship Flight 13 there for all of you. So, this was the most successful Starship test flight in the Starship program yet, especially the most successful Starship version 3 test flight yet. So, yeah, that's the end of that, Godzilla and Kaiju fans and everybody. So we're gonna go ahead and get into the outro now. So yeah, Godzilla and Kaiju fans and everybody, that is the end of SpaceX Starship 13th Orbital Test Flight live event on Godzilla King _Nights54 to 23. So, yeah, I am thoroughly excited that we have made a huge accomplishment in the Starship program. So, yeah, Starship Flight 13 has been absolutely incredible, and I can't wait for Starship Flight 14 to launch hopefully this month in August 2026. So, yeah, Godzilla and Kaiju fans and everybody, if you enjoyed this video, please like the videos and subscribe to Godzilla King _Nights54 to 23 to become a member of Team Godzilla and to get our YouTube channel to 100 subscribers on YouTube and for more extremely awesome YouTube videos like this. And yeah, so yeah, please like the videos and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Yeah, please like the videos and subscribe to Godzilla King _Nats 54 to 23 to get our YouTube channel to 100 subscribers on YouTube and for more YouTube videos like this. So, yeah, Godzilla and Kaiju fans and everybody, that's going to be the end of the video. Hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see you all in our next YouTube video on our YouTube channel. So yeah, bye-bye now, Godzilla and Kaiju fans and everybody. See you in our next Starship YouTube video on our YouTube channel, and our next YouTube video on our YouTube channel. Alright, Godzilla and Kaiju fans and everybody. That was Starship Flight 13 there for you. That was, like, absolutely incredible. I had a lot of fun watching Starship Flight 13 and making these videos of Starship Flight 13. And yeah, next up will be the screen recorded videos of Starship Flight 13, which will be coming out later after this video here. So get ready for those videos here soon. And then I might make my next Fortnite YouTube video as well. So yeah, Godzilla and Kaiju fans and everybody. That's going to be the end of the video. Hope you Godzilla and Kaiju fans enjoyed it. Please like the videos and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more YouTube videos like this and to get my YouTube channel to 100 subscribers on YouTube, because I'm really wanting to hit 100 subscribers on YouTube so bad, and I'm really wanting to do it this year. So yeah, that's going to be the end of the video. Hope you guys all and Kaiju fans enjoyed it. That's Starship Flight 13 for you. Next up is SpaceX Starship 14th Orbital Test Flight featuring Starship 41 and Super Heavy Booster 21. And yeah, that's going to be the end of the video. Hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you in our next YouTube video on our YouTube channel. Bye-bye now, Godzilla and Kaiju fans and everybody. See you in the next YouTube video on our YouTube channel. Bye-bye now.